What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. We got the squad here. We got my co-host below me, Cove, or as it said, 50 Shades. What does that say? 50 Shades of Jade?
What?
I don't know. This
50
guy.
Shades of Jade.
Boy, let me enlarge that so people can see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
This is what Cove's got going on.
Oh, 50
Yeah.
shit. Oh,
He's just talking trash to me.
No.
Whoa, you got a chick in the background? Is that a chick in the
That's Jade.
background?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, chick in the background. How we doing?
I'm playing
So,
Barbie,
guys,
bro.
this week on Vinny's Corner, pretty basic. We have reactions to last week's NFL draft. Obviously we've got a Seahawks fan here, we've got a 49ers fan here, we've got a Dolphins fan here, we've got a Giants fan here. Cove is a Broncos fan, so I don't know. Maybe he can tell us what's going on with Bo Nick's ankle, because the pictures online look like his ankle was run over by a car. What's going on?
I mean, I don't know. I know much about Bo Nick's ankle as much as you know as Ken Scalaboo's like hobbies. I have no idea.
So legitimately, they said something like it scrapes or I guess he went in and they scraped out like whatever, I guess like scar tissue.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. They think that sometimes like they can do that and it's gonna be different for him to run on for sure. It's the same thing as anything else, like when they've done it to, like the Tommy John surgery. It's just something to help him, whatever. It's not gonna be like the Joe Burrow thing though. Like Joe Burrow lost 30% of his strength, so it's like he's not gonna lose much
because of his thumb.
Yeah, he's at 70%. They said medically that he'll come back at 70% at a full Joe Burrow will be 70%, but it's his non-throwing hand. But I mean, that would have been a career over if he lost 30% of his strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. But so I guess purpose of today's show, right? Like, so talk a little bit about what happened in the draft, reactions, good, bad, ugly, etc. We've got the NHL playoffs going on. We've also got the NBA playoffs going on. And we're looking at some elimination games possibly, or some teams advancing.
yeah.
So we got a lot going on this week. Why don't we start with the NFL stuff and just get it out of the way, since it was a week ago, and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. So let me see here. I guess here's the first question, and I'll kind of pose this to all you guys. As a Giants fan, right? This is gonna sound like there's no way I won't sound like a homer. But like I'll share my gripes also, right? So last week we talked about
Vince. Just because I like to double down, if you say New York, she takes a drink. I have a legit alcoholic that's gonna take a drink every time you say New York.
this
Hey,
is crazy.
now.
That's a joke from last week.
Okay, so
Okay, so now I have to do that.
right, so like here's the thing, right? I wanted Caleb Downs, right? That was like the guy that I wanted more than anything. I wanted Caleb Downs. I wanted Sonny Styles.
You almost had it though. You almost had the Sonny Styles.
So we got Maui Goa, right? We got from the U. We got a protector. He'll probably pay guard for the Giants. So we got protection for Jackson Dart. We need to protect him because he can't protect himself, it seems like. Hopefully he's going to learn that with Coach Harbaugh. And then we got Arvell Reese, the linebacker, very explosive defensive player from the Ohio State University that a lot of people think is going to be, or might have even been like the most athletic, like him and David Bailey, right? It was between those guys is like kind of like the pick of the draft outside of Mendoza. So as a Giants fan, I'm not mad. I think we addressed some stuff. And we, later in the draft, we got Hood. We addressed, so we ended up getting a piece to the secondary that we sorely needed. We did some good stuff. So let's go over this way. I'll start with Showtime. Showtime for the Dolphins. How did you guys do?
I liked our draft. I think we filled out a lot of needs. I wasn't a fan of trading down from Caleb Downs, but I don't think he would have been taken there regardless. I don't think so.
I don't know.
But
fair.
we got an offensive lineman of the future that could play pretty much anywhere on the offensive line. So, and we got a DB in the end of the first round. I can't complain about that. And we filled out a lot of other needs in the rest of the draft.
You know, I feel like it actually feels like they're this Green Bay
It's a very Green Bay type of draft because if you look at a lot of the draft grades or there's like this skill thingy. I don't know what it's called, but it seems like very Green Bay-ish.
and which is and like for those who are not familiar, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for the Dolphins organization.
Like, because
So,
they know what they wanted and they went after it. Like, I can't complain about that. They have a vision. They're doing it.
I like that. That makes sense.
And my favorite pick, personally, was Jacob Rodriguez. I think he fell right into our hands. Like, I think he could have gone way earlier.
So a lot of people, like, if you looked at a lot of draft boards, like for me, I wanted him to be in the first round, but then I wasn't sure that he was going to be.
Yeah,
And,
there was an injury concern, I'm pretty sure. I think that's part of why he fell.
you know, and I feel like he was such a dynamic piece where they had, think about it, right? So Texas Tech had offensive packages for Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, yep.
But he was a defensive player.
And
That's
speaking
how-
of offensive packages, there were offensive plays ran for Caden Proctor, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's a fact. But you know what I mean? Like, this is an extremely talented, like athletic player. So
Yeah.
I love the Jacob Rodriguez pick, and the fact that he fell to a position that you guys were able to get him. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's especially a need since we have linebackers that are not under contract for a long time. So he's our linebacker for the future.
So, Mr. 49ers, how did you feel? How did the 49ers do last week?
I say doing okay. I don't get it why they trade up to the second round pick for this one. I think we need a wide receiver and a cornerback. That's what we need.
And
Plus,
so, what did they get?
who did we get short term? I forgot. Wide receiver.
Don't remember.
I don't remember. I think the old Miss wide receiver. I forgot.
I'm gonna look now. I'm trying to. I'm a little slow with this stuff. You guys know I'm like
It's okay.
I'm like
So
a
he's
little
the only-
deficient when it comes to here we go, 32 draft trades.
I think they got 32 picks.
So I felt like they did get a receiver. They just kind of got
Yeah,
a
they
later
did.
receiver, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did got a receiver.
Like maybe a second or a third round pick.
Yeah.
And like because what I was saying to somebody else is you had to draft somebody for the 49ers because this season, like a part of the offensive plan should be to move off of IU completely and get him out of the building.
Yeah, we need to get him. Yeah. Just get rid of him.
Sure.
So here we go. I think I got it. Stan Fran.
They took.
I think they took.
Okay, here we go.
Who they took for that?
They took Stribling.
Stribling?
DeJohn Stribling.
Yeah,
from
the
Ole
wide
Miss.
rec-
It was
that's the
Ole
wide
Miss, yep.
receiver. in the
Oh,
second
from Ole
round.
Miss. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I
Ole Miss.
was thinking about it, and I'm like,
Oh.
because it was the 33rd pick, it almost felt like they took him in the first round. That's why I was.
No, yeah, because it felt like they took him there because they traded out of that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a really good one. And then,
That's a good.
so the really good pick that nobody's really talked about for them. This
Yeah,
is
it's-
going to be huge for the
That's-
49ers defense.
Yeah.
Romello Height.
Oh
from,
yeah.
from Texas Tech. He's an edge. He's an edge rush. He's super athletic. That
Yeah.
was a really good pick by them.
Yep.
And then I think you guys got a running back too.
I think the
There
running back.
wasn't running back taken later, guys.
I forgot the running back. What's the?
Something black.
Oh,
Round, what's it?
That's what I want to say. Something black is the word.
yeah.
But so overall, as a fan, what would you say? A plus, B plus, C.
I'm
What
gonna-
do you think you got?
I think I'm gonna say B, just a B.
A B. That's a fair grade. That's a
Yeah.
fair grade. All right.
Yeah.
So we got the Dolphins. We got the Giants.
Oh, I'm gonna give the Dolphins an A minus for that draft.
The Dolphins really. They might be headed in the right direction. You guys might.
I
go to
like the
playoffs in
direction.
20
I like the
years.
direction. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I like the direction.
It's hard to not get excited when your team puts things in front of you to make you feel hope, right?
Yeah, and especially like I think they're gonna be super invested in development and still have a good draft pick next year. Like I wouldn't be mad if we had a bad season.
No, listen, I don't think this season to me for them is about getting like 5 to 7 wins, right? And to getting the offense together.
You have to let these guys develop, the young guys. Just play them.
Yeah. Like this project, that's got to be a 2 to 3 year project minimum, you know? The NFL moves fast. It should be a 5-year project. But
Yeah.
2 to 3 years at least.
You know that I am.
So, 50 Shades of Jade, what do we think about the Denver Broncos draft this year?
Well, it was late. I mean, we didn't get into picks until round 3.
Wow. So
Wow.
They didn't pick
Oh
until
yeah.
the
The trades. Yep.
Yeah, due to the trades, we really didn't pick until the 3rd round. We took a defensive tackle, a running back at round 4, O-line in 111, another tight end in 152, and then not till round 7 where we got another tight end, and a safety. Like so, they really they bulked up on defense. I think it's more so like let's give Bo Nix a line to protect him, and that's what happened with Brady with his knee, right? The Patriots went out and got a couple key pieces in that draft to protect Brady so he wouldn't get his knee hurt again.
So I felt like they did like exactly what they needed to do, right? That's a really good team. That was like a Super Bowl caliber team this season.
Oh yeah, it was just unfortunate that Bo Nix just had his ankle stepped on and it just shattered. It was just
terrible
like
timing, you know. But with that being said, like going out and shoring up the O line and the D line, like the trenches,
yeah.
That's as smart as it gets, right? You can't.
Now some have
them
as like a C grade because of the guys they got. But what are you going to expect at a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick when you don't get a 1 and 2? You're not going to get an A or B grade because you're not getting that caliber players. You're missing all of those linebackers, tight ends, D linemen, O linemen that would be really impressive on that Broncos line. But Broncos D has always been pretty nasty, so they know how to build the defense.
I mean, like, there's just nothing that I don't like about what they've got going on right now. It would be nice to have a little more clarity on the Bo Nix situation.
Oh yeah,
Bo
100%.
makes light of it.
The thing is he's only getting back into training now and whatnot, and it's just like we don't know how this ankle is going to hold up until we see real action. The practicing is not going to challenge him as much as being in a real game, in a real situation. So that's the only time where we'll actually see what happens with Bo Nix in this situation.
So interesting fact I just wanted to throw out while I was reading up on the Broncos draft here. They actually said that this was the first time since 1995 that the Broncos did not pick in either the first or second round.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. 31 years.
They've had to strategically go, we're getting the 3rd, 5th player kind of option at every position.
Here's what I will tell you. I like the Miles Scott, the safety you guys got from Illinois. I think he's going to be decent. And I also like what's this guy's name? The defensive tackle. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but it's Tyler like Onidum.
Yeah, their first pick, their technical first pick. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. That's a really good like. He'll start this year, and make an impact immediately in that defense because they just lost it. They lost Franklin Myers.
Yeah, and he's a fifth-year senior, so he's got some age. So it's like he's not a young kid really coming into this league.
He's ready to go. Oh my God! I just looked up. You should have seen this block. Thompson just knocked the ball into the middle of the stand. Here it is. Oh, get that out of here. Yo, I definitely lost my NBA bet today because the Magic are not winning this game.
No. Are you?
That's okay. I'm good with that.
All right.
He's just gonna double down tomorrow. The Knicks win.
All right, yo, chill, bro. Show on my Knicks, right? The Knicks going to the next round. That's all I can say. What happens against the Celtics? I don't know. But who are the Celtics anyway? You guys, you know what? We're about to get there right now. But let's, Caleb.
They are.
Caleb,
Okay.
Last guy here.
Caleb.
Can I talk about
Now that he
Syracuse
said it,
Seahawks
he's like they're going to the next round. He's already talking about Boston. You see
Seattle
what happened when
Seahawks.
they asked for Boston, they choked out.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about
All right. We'll get back to the Knicks. So, Caleb, how did the Seattle Seahawks do?
I looked at running back they took. Yeah, that's it. About it. The running back they took.
Um,
Notre Dame.
the one from
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame, Darian Price.
Yeah, he was Bucks backup.
That's it. That's listen. So because Charbonnet didn't get hurt until the playoffs, and because Walker is gone, expect to see Jadarian Price. Jadarian Price might be the rookie of the year this year because he's stepping into the Seattle offense and he's going to get burned day one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Bookmark it.
That's true. I can see it.
Like Jeremiah Love is a better football player overall, but he's going
Jeremiah's
to Arizona,
gonna be a special
where Jadarian Price is going to the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champs. So their career arc is very different right now. Wow.
Wow.
Who else did you guys get?
But I'll ask you this one because I don't really do any NFL questions. I just have NBA and NHL ones. But will Jeremiah Love, will he change Cardinals? Like, is he that much of an impact player that he's going to change the Cardinals?
I mean, he should be.
He should.
This
Yeah,
is
he's
what they
good.
said on the radio. Okay, this is what what's this guy's name who everyone follows online? Adam Schefter. This is how Adam Schefter put it from the Arizona Cardinals front office. They are not in the position to have a that running back, but he's an exciting player to add to their team because he's so good and he's like and he's a running back. He's not the best pick for an Arizona team that didn't even have a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, I guess they have Jacoby, right? But I would expect to see Carson Beck and Jacoby Brissett compete for the starting position.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, like week one, Arizona's backfield could be Carson Beck and Jeremiah Love, which is wild. The U and Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's disgusting to me, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's disgusting me.
That's disgusting.
I will
But
wear a
that
fucking
could be
Cardinal
cool.
jersey. If these guys pop off, I'll wear a Cardinal jersey.
Can I talk about
I
my
want to
theory
ask
real
the
quick?
question: is there any actual Cardinals fans on Earth? But I heard there's
No.
like one or two.
What do you?
Hey,
What do you think?
I
Caleb?
I gave him a chance, in Arizona for years. I mean, he's in Minnesota now. I mean, so I kind of did love Arizona for a little bit as a back burner of a team. Like, I always wanted to see them do well
Okay.
Well, like
with Kyler Murray. So I mean, it's just Kyler's just a small guy. He's just not big enough for you to be a quarterback, I guess. But he reminds me of a Doug Flutie. He reminds me of a Doug Flutie.
somebody told me this, but Doug Flutie was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah.
I was talking football with somebody at my gym, and the guy was bigger than I am. Of course, everyone's bigger than I am. But he said, "quote He said Kyler Murray is about your size.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
about
5'8",
mentality.
bro. I'm 5'8". I was
Wow.
hollering. I was like,
Yeah.
"What do you think? He's a midget on an NFL field?
How
It's
big
okay.
is Kyler?
You're not alone, man.
A 5'8" quarterback? What?"
Yeah.
It's okay. You know,
Well,
Oh,
especially
bro,
when you look
I
at
was
Big
laughing
Ben. Big
so hard.
Ben is like 6'5", 240, and then you see Kyler Murray. He just picks him up and just tosses it.
Dude, Josh Allen's like 6'5". Josh Allen's built like that too. Like,
yeah.
You got
bro.
sweat.
But
Okay.
listen, we'll see. You know what? Before we jump to the NBA and the NHL side of things, I will say this much. Kyler has an opportunity here, right? He's about to have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson as his receivers. And he's going to have a top 5 defense day one.
Yeah,
Like-
he's never had those weapons.
Yeah.
Show us who you are. If you're really that guy, show us
Yeah.
show
Shows
up.
up. Well, I mean, Call of Duty is in due next year, so he should be good.
Dude, listen, man. And he probably makes money off his Twitch too. He's probably nasty.
Oh yeah,
does.
guaranteed.
Yeah, he for sure
This
does.
dude is literally
Yeah.
playing Call of Duty 7 right now. Well,
Yeah.
in training camp.
You heard Cam Scatabo said that he might retire and just do Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
Yep.
like, that's wild.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? You're my running back.
I know, but if he can make bank off it, he's gonna make. You can make more off of Twitch
What
than
can
you
you
can
make
make off
off
of
of
a
Burning
sports
Man?
contract if you're good at it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Because he'd be in control of his own contracts, his own royalties, his own everything. So then he'd just be raking the money in.
Yeah.
It's like a reverse NIL deal, right? It's just that's what it is.
Dude.
Vin, Vinny,
Yes.
I mean, we're paying
Tell me-
17-year-old
tell me
kids
more.
like
Can I
$5
talk
million
about the
to go
kid
to
on my
college.
Steelers? I like that kid. Jermaine Bernard from Alabama. I like that pick a lot for my Steelers.
Who for the Steelers?
Jeremy Bernard from Bama.
Jermaine Bernard
Okay.
from Alabama.
So I feel
Oh.
like overall, I actually like this is the first draft in a while that it seemed like they were planning for a future,
Yep.
Oh,
right? Like
Definitely.
taking skilled players, taking a quarterback, like you know what I mean? Like it seemed like they were like, oh, you know what? Like we have to build another team. Like
I mean, I think the Alar pick was pretty good just because he didn't have a great season, but he was a top ranked quarterback going before the year, and Penn State was a mess. So
listen,
Yes.
right now you've got Mason Rudolph, right?
Will Howard,
I like Will. Well, this is my point, right? So skip Will Howard for a second. You got
right?
Aaron Rodgers, who's my age, and then you got right. Then you got Will Howard and Drew Alar, right? So now you got two young, like you just drafted two young quarterbacks, right? That can play and that have competed against each other in the Big Ten, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now you can throw these guys into competition and see what you got. Maybe you get something. Maybe you don't. But like, at least you're taking a shot now. It feels like,
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, maybe they're not waiting for Aaron Rodgers at all. Maybe they're just like the heck with it. Like whoever wins this quarterback battle, we're going to start.
I think there's no shot. It's Mason. I don't see it.
Well, Mason's a backup quarterback.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
All right.
I mean, he's a nice fill-in if need be. That's pretty much it.
That's a fact. All right, so the NBA playoffs are on.
Yes.
The Lakers are looking to advance.
Yep.
Spurs did advance. Who else advanced so far? OKC.
No.
Yep. And the
Yeah.
Thunder.
Yep.
I think. Who the
No one
East?
else. No, that's it. That's it.
So just
That's
the
it.
1 and the 2 seed in the West have advanced
Yep.
to the second
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
The Knicks are in control there. So you know what? I'll just turn it over. Cove, we've got questions. We've got answers. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm just shocked I haven't heard New York yet. I'm just shocked. We're 25 minutes in. And I haven't heard.
I'm
New
not
York.
trying to get this young lady wasted. What are you doing?
You shouldn't have said anything.
I've got self-control.
You shouldn't have said anything, Cole.
What do you mean? She watched last episode. She's already drunk from last episode. Anyway. Anyway, so here we go. Oh, I got to figure out what it is. So are San Antonio Spurs already true title contenders? Like after their dominant win?
Yes.
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 Yep.
They're very. You know what? I'll expand on the question. They are, as they like to say, they are very ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
But they're just playing like really fun, really hard, really like they're just awesome to watch. You know, they play defense. They play both ways, right? Like they're supposed to. They've been really exciting to watch, and they're dominant.
Yeah.
So,
and
I mean, but there was a little scare in the first round. Like not every game was just a complete blowout.
Yeah, probably game 2. Yeah.
Yeah, game 2, obviously, with Wemby getting hurt.
Yeah.
Well, people literally thought they were going to sweep them. And then they lost one game, and then Wemby got hurt, and they were like, shoot. It was like, wait, is this about to become a series?
Yeah. Portland blew
even both of the games in Portland, well, even all the games in Portland, like, Portland controlled the first half. So, I mean, if that's not a... I'm not saying it's not a... They're not contenders, but does that make them a tier below OKC?
No.
Well, here's how it feels to me. Maybe and we don't know how they're going to play against OKC in the playoffs, but obviously, you know, they are built with contending with OKC in mind. And they do a good job during the regular season. I don't know, like, to me, OKC is still the team to beat. No question. Right? Like they dominated their series.
Yep.
That was embarrassing.
There was like no point where there was any doubt of them losing.
Yeah, there's no point of watching that. That's boring.
There was no point where, like, with them losing a single game.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Did they trail in any single game? Honestly,
no. They won almost every game by double digits. Like,
exactly.
they completely dominated. Like covering the spread in the playoffs is crazy.
Yep, that's great.
Like, what's going on?
So on the Celtics, right? Now you know this, Vince, because you were talking about my bets. You saw that I picked the Celtics to go to 6. You probably were surprised by that one, just because of the way the series has been going. So, so are the Celtics starting to lose control of their series after the fourth quarter? After that fourth quarter collapse?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, Philly's making it a series, but
make it interesting series. Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. I showed Vince yesterday. I already have them. I had them going 6 and Boston winning tonight. So I have Boston winning tonight. I just knew that they were going to blow Game 5.
Well, okay, so I guess here's the thought process. If you're looking at them, the Celtics losing the series, Embiid returns. Embiid completely dominates.
Yep.
And they completely get their asses kicked, right? That's what happened yesterday. Caleb?
And actually, he's been spectacular during the playoff too.
So
I mean, he's their most consistent player.
Now,
that's
right?
For sure.
Okay, now here's the thing: is if that's the narrative. And you're thinking like they're going to get that much of a boost from adding Embiid back into the lineup, well, then all you have to do is you just have to contest it. So Embiid, the way he's been playing against them, all his shots are mid-range jumpers, like little turnaround floater, like easy shots. He's really good at those shots. You got to make him work for his work and like have to like drive the hoop and post up and make him get tired. Get physical with him. That's all. He'll tire out. He's not winning no series for them.
So here's the loaded question for the crew. Has Jalen Brunson officially became a playoff superstar for the New York Knicks?
For the
I mean, his
Knicks,
playoff performance can't be denied.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
for sure.
he what? Hold on. What is he at? Let me look up Jalen Brunson playoff numbers.
A
The
Knicks
only
fan that
knock on
doesn't
him
know
at this
Brunson's
point
numbers?
is not his offensive numbers. It's
It's
more
his
how he
defense.
can get attacked all the time defensively.
Yeah.
Vince was a
That's
little
like,
distracted on that one.
and that's exactly the issue, right? Is like there has to be if he, if we hit the fourth quarter and we've got a nice lead, then we got to take him out and put somebody in there that can play some defense. Let him rest it out because like they just go at him continuously. Okay, so Brunson averages basically 26 points a game, 25.6 points, 24 or 5.4 assists, 3.5 rebounds in the playoffs. Yeah, so you can't. He's a stud in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really say anything else. The numbers don't lie.
I was so hoping you would say New York, so that's why I loaded that in there.
It's all good. I know.
Yeah.
The young lady can drink at her own pace.
Yeah. Is Nikola Jokic the most valuable player in the playoffs right now, not just statistically, but overall impact?
I would say Shea,
I
probably.
think Shea.
I think Shea or Wemby for sure.
Yeah, Shea or Wemby. Yeah.
I wouldn't say Jokic just because he's a detriment on defense. Like he can be
Yeah, he
attacked.
can be. Yep.
That's fair.
And he
I'm
low
gonna go
key,
Shea. I just like
low key, Jokic kind of lost him
Oh
some
my
games.
gosh, he
Like
like
he was
God, this
inefficient,
long.
getting locked up by Rudy. Like, yeah.
So our defense is beginning to take over the NBA playoffs compared to earlier rounds, like
Defense.
this year versus last year.
Well, so here's this is the trend, and it's not happening just this year. If you watch playoff NBA basketball, the scores when they get to the playoffs are always less, and that's because the teams who are in the playoffs play defense.
Yep.
Like
You
during the
can't defend.
season, teams are scoring
You don't
150.
stand the shot.
There are no
Yeah,
teams
exactly.
scoring 150 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everyone who shows up is playing defense for the most part.
Yep.
You have your, obviously every team's got their liabilities, your Brunsons and such, but you get the point. People aren't trying to give up a 150-point game in a playoff series. That looks ridiculous.
No.
If you do, you're gonna lose. Period.
Yeah. That's true.
Now the alternate to this one is the postseason where the next generation, like SGA, Wemby, Edwards, like anybody that's in the new gen, takes full control like of the playoffs in this league. Like they dominate, like what Jordan would do or LeBron would do way back when.
Did they name the MVP already?
No.
I don't
yet.
think
They
so.
did, yeah.
No,
They
I
do
think.
it during the finals,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, just
Okay,
before the
so
finals was over.
if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander wins the MVP, Finals MVP, and a title again this year,
Yeah.
that pulls him like suddenly he's in like the all-time great conversation.
Yeah. Back to back.
Doing that,
Yeah, yes.
doing that 2 years in a row, suddenly
Yeah.
he's
At
like
his-
a top
at
25 player
his
all
age.
time.
But he
Especially
did win
at
the
his
scoring
age.
title, right?
Yeah,
Or
well,
did that go to Luca?
I don't know because hold on.
Because what's the case with the Luca injury thing? Because I think Luca did average more points.
Who won the scoring title? The NBA scoring title.
I think it was Shea. I think.
I think Shea gonna win MVP and Final MVP this year. Yeah, and the title.
Yeah, Luca won the. Okay, so
Okay, Luca
yeah,
won it. Okay.
33 and a half points a game over
But-
64 games.
Okay.
And they
okay.
gave him the pass on the one game because his daughter's birth or whatever, his son's birth or
Gotcha.
whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't factor in the games he missed at the end of the year.
Which is crazy.
Okay.
So for the final is which team now is under the most pressure, like to avoid a playoff collapse?
Knicks. It's
Yeah,
the Knicks.
we
It's
are
the Knicks.
they are under the most pressure right now to go to the finals. The most pressure. Yep.
Wait, hold on. I'm so confused right now. Jay, is that you?
Good.
Hold on. I think that's the right Jay. Okay, it is. Sorry, there was two J's up for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, what was the?
So
what were we
yeah,
just
so we
talking?
all say Knicks is the team that's most under pressure to win right now.
Yeah, the Knicks. The Knicks have to. The New York Knicks
Yep.
have to. There you
I
go.
was gonna
Okay.
win New York tonight. I knew I was gonna get in New York.
All right. There you go. The Knicks.
Good next. Welcome next.
Well, because right, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and then we fired our coach. So that
Yeah.
means that if we don't go to the finals, it's a failure.
Well, anyways, you got Jade approved for the shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But anyway, so as we move into hockey, like that's interesting. The one thing I'm gonna bring in tonight for that is that I did not write a question. I just want to ask you guys if you knew about the Anaheim goal. How do you feel about the Anaheim goal costing the game, like crossing that line?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there.
It was literally under the skates, and it was pushed over the line by momentum or whatever. So it cost the goal. It cost the win for Anaheim. Like Gary Bettman's been defending it, going, it was a good goal, but it was pushed in. Like you think about it, as everybody was pushing into that, but as he saved it, they pushed him back an inch, and it just happened to push it just a little bit over the line.
That was on Sunday.
Yeah. You have to see look at the image, and you're just like, Jesus Christ! Like,
wait, so it hurt the Ducks? Like the Ducks won because of it, or the Ducks lost?
Yeah, but they say it's a controversial call because they don't think the puck really crossed the line. Because
this was the overtime thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So guys, it was 3-3 overtime, and then the overtime game-winning play was what he just described. Okay, that's okay. So that is kind of crazy.
Did you? So have you seen the photo of it? It's insane.
I have not.
Like literally, like if you put it on an angle a certain way, it would look like it's across the line, but it literally looks like it's on the line. It's like so like on the edge, and you know that as a sports fan, if they can't definitively turn it over, they can't change the call, right? But this one they did change the call. They're like, no, this one is a goal. It's like, how? Because every other time this is not a goal in every other game. So it's very interesting because it's like then it puts Edmonton on the back burner. They were down 3-1, but I mean they came back to be 3-2 now. So it's like did we cost the Oilers a series because of this?
Well, and I don't know. I mean I guess that's a good question.
They did come back. Like the Oilers did come back next game to win to get it back to 3-2 series. But it's like this could have been Edmonton's 4-1 win out. If you look at it.
So I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it wouldn't shock me if the NHL wanted the Ducks to go further than they wanted the Oilers to go.
Yes, this is where I was trying to get you guys' logic on it. Like, are they really just trying to take the Oilers out like right now? So then they're like, let's move on to somebody else. Like put Anaheim back in there. So, so the first question is: can the Oilers actually be trusted to make a deep run despite their flaws?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't say so. No.
The Oilers, yeah. I think
it is a must-win game 6 for sure for Edmonton to stay afloat. But I think it's gonna hurt them anyways. Even if Edmonton beats Anaheim going into the next round, they're gonna beat the piss out of that. They're not gonna compete in the next round. It's gonna be a 4-1 series for whoever would play Edmonton.
I got Anaheim winning that series.
It feels like Skinner was a bit of a scapegoat in Edmonton. They did not do enough to change anything or to address
No.
things like the defense just giving up the goose repeatedly in the playoffs last year and leaving Skinner with no help.
Yeah. I mean, we see it again. Look at Skinner in Philly right now. They have crawled back from a 3-0 deficit, but Skinner, like, that's gonna be the insane part. If Skinner can come into Pittsburgh and help reverse the sweep, and Edmonton gets knocked out, it's gonna be like, oh shit, we got rid of Skinner. But if Skinner gets knocked out first round, Edmonton's gonna be fine. But if Skinner comes back from a 3-0 deficit and makes it the next round versus Oilers, then yeah, it's gonna piss off Edmonton so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Edmonton's gonna lose the series.
Yep, I agree with you, Ben. Yep.
I think it's Ducks in hand for sure. Ducks have been playing well all season. This is just a hiccup for them at the moment. So, are the Buffalo Sabres truly ready to close out the series and in years of frustration getting to the first round?
I hope so.
Yes,
I hate Boston.
I got the Sabres win that series. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't like the way Boston plays.
So that game's not going to be till Friday, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so.
I mean,
listen, I'm a New York guy, so I don't like things Boston.
Yeah.
So, that's my logic.
But the thing is if Montreal, who is holding out right now, a 3-2 game right now, if they hold out and they take out Tampa, I mean, Boston might want to win so we get a Boston Montreal series. That's the only reason why I would want it. I want to see Buffalo play Montreal, but I want to see a Boston Montreal series. Like, that would be a real gritty series.
Let me ask you a question. Who's gonna win the Flyers Penguins game tonight, right now? It's in the third period. It's 0-0.
I got Philly on this one, but
I hope Philly wins and the Penguins don't reverse sweep them. That would be embarrassing.
oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You get Skinner jump in for a reverse sweep.
That would be crazy. It would be crazy.
I mean, he's not in net, so that's the thing, though.
Skinner's not in net. Okay.
Yeah, no.
And
Skinner's not playing for the Penguins right now in net. That's not who got to the playoffs.
Who do you think takes control tonight? The Mammoth and the Golden Knights are playing tonight, and the series is tied at the moment. This is game 5.
The Knights
this
need
is
to win at
swinging,
home.
right?
Yeah, the Knights need to win at home.
Yeah. Utah takes this advantage. It would be great. I mean, it'd be great for Utah to get to round 1. Sucks for Vegas.
Come on, horse.
But yeah. So it's like, I would love to see Vegas get through, but I also do desperately want to see Utah. I want to see this young team that was pretty much given up on, and got there because they were the Utah Hockey Club. So now they have an identity. I like to see them show up with an identity because it would be great hockey. I mean, Utah versus Anaheim would be an interesting series for sure.
Hopefully they win at home.
Yeah.
But
So
Utah's been playing good.
is goaltending the single best factor in deciding playoff series right now, or is it a player? Like, is the players dominating?
To me, it feels like I've only really heard about goaltending.
Mm-hmm. You got a lot of these OT games. You got these little tank battles. Yes. I mean, is there anybody that you can think of that's dominating in your mind in the playoffs right now that you've heard about?
Well, the Oilers dominated the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Specifically, but that was just to get back in the series.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm looking at I'm looking at all the series that are open right now. There's nothing really like.
So, which team
Competitive.
do you guys think is the most dangerous right now? for who's playing.
Wait, say it again. Which team did you say?
Yeah,
So
which
teams
team
that
looks the most
aren't
dangerous?
eliminated yet.
Yeah.
I think the Wild, man. I like the Wild right now.
I'm gonna still go with Carolina because I have them on a deep run with and making the cup run, right? And I mean, because it looks like the Wild are gonna take the Stars out because they were my Western Conference, team they're gonna play. So I mean, I find that interesting. But you know me, I way back when I was talking about the Wild. This team is very interesting, and picking up Quinn Hughes at the right time was just what Minnesota needed. And we might see a deep run by Minnesota, and they are pretty much showing up.
That's how it feels. That's how it feels right now.
They have an amazing tandem with using the dual goalies. We've seen this with so many teams, other great teams in the past. It's like sometimes we have like Brodeur just running the show, right? But a lot of these great teams that we've talked about always had a great 1-2 tandem, and this is what Minnesota has developed with a great defense. Like they have a deep defense that most people don't understand.
So I guess okay. So how do you feel? Okay, let's just assume Minnesota wins out, right? Right now they're leading the series 3-2. They win the series out. They advance. They play the Colorado Avalanche next.
Yeah.
How do they match up against the Avs?
I don't think the Avs are ready for the Wild right now, because especially if they take out Dallas, they will, because they've been chasing Dallas all season.
The Wild have gotten hot.
Yeah. So now they're ready to take on the Avalanche. Now the Avalanche would be a 6-game series at least. I don't, if it's Dallas or if it's Dallas comes back, then this would not be it'd be a small series. But if Dallas comes back and doesn't get beat up, it'd be a 5-game series. But if it's the Wild, I think that's a 6 or 7-game series for sure. I
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dallas come back and push that series to 7. Regardless, the next series with the Avs is going to be a 6 to 7 game series automatically. It feels like.
Yeah. Now to twist it with Dallas, is this the time you look at Ottinger and see if he's to blame if Dallas goes out so soon?
Great question. Now I'm gonna have to go back and look at I don't know. I don't know what the scores have specifically been, but I mean, I guess the question I'm always gonna ask immediately is how is the defense playing? Right? Minnesota isn't playing excellent.
Yeah.
Which to me is obviously a part of it. I don't know. I don't know. Can you really say that it's just Ottinger though?
Oh, yeah. I'd have to say it's Ottinger because this team has been built to win. Like you look at the talent that has been on Dallas for over the years, they've been very consistent. This is the same team that would be like 99, 2000 with the Modano era, right? Like that's what this Dallas team is. But with Ottinger, he can't seem to win when it matters. But I mean, it was great for you guys and for Team USA. But for Dallas, it's like he's just not showing
in
up.
Their losses, he's given up. In their losses, he's averaging giving up over 4 goals a game.
Yeah.
So I'll just say it like that. So he's going from the 2s to the 4s.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
So it is definitely in part his fault. No question about it.
So I mean, that's why you have to look at the numbers of him. It's like, how does he play in playoffs? It's like he has these amazing games, but then he just cannot just get there for some reason. But he has the talent to get there. It's just for some reason, this is like a Bob Roski all over again. Bob Roski was just so. He hasn't been different for any of us over the time we've seen him. It's just once he got to the greatness he got to, we're like, oh shit, he's always been like that. But he was in Columbus and elsewhere, right? And we just didn't really give him credit until he won. But Ottinger is a guy who can win. He just needs to have the right focus, the right brain to it. Like I said, he did great for Team USA. So I mean, I don't understand why this guy does not want to win more.
Well, it feels like, and I don't want to sound like a doubter, but it feels like he's going to have another year to reflect on that. Because to me, at least, it feels like they're getting ready to get out of there, right? I feel like the Minnesota Wild are going to be the team to advance.
Oh yes, I would
know.
love if they allowed it to happen. The Minnesota Wild to wear the North Star jerseys, playing the Stars. It would be amazing. That'd be great. They are legally allowed to.
Well, okay. So let me ask you a question. How does that work? Is the okay? So the North Stars moved to
they
Dallas
moved.
and became the Stars.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so I'm saying like Dallas wears the Minnesota North Stars against the Wild in a game like that. So it'll be Minnesota versus Minnesota.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
The North Stars jerseys were awesome.
They do have the alternate of the Minnesota Wild jerseys with the North Star too, so they can throw it back at them because that's the way the ownership rights are. They're allowed to have the North Star colors because it's part of Minnesota. Well, so they can both wear the same jerseys basically, identical.
Damn flyer. Okay, I'm gonna go with you guys. I like that Minnesota has a hockey team again now. I just want to put that out there because, like, obviously, like for whatever reasons, the market, whatever else, it made more sense for them to move to Dallas at the time. But I'm glad that they were eventually able to find that and move back to Minnesota. Minnesota's it's a good sports state.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
it's one of those states where like it is a hockey state, though. It is predominantly a hockey state. So
on a collegiate level, on a collegiate level, Minnesota hockey is very big, and Minnesota is obviously very Canadian in its weather. So you already know, those are the Americans that are most like you.
Yes. Oh, I know. That's who I use in NCAA. I use Minnesota. I love using Minnesota.
Do you know? Did they advance to the Frozen Four this year? The only team I know that was in it is Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part. Wisconsin, you're like, what?
That was a different one. I was expecting Maine, Minnesota. The one. Yeah. Boston College is usually pretty good as well for like one of those schools. But like, I mean,
you got McKenna playing, right? McKenna's probably in the Frozen Four right now. He probably put Penn State that way. And that's the other interesting is Penn State being a hockey team now. They went from really getting to know as a football team. Now they're getting known as a hockey team too at the same time. And their baseball team is not that bad either, that I've heard.
Here's the thing that's happened. So Showtime is a big fan of Miami. He can kind of attest to this. Because in the colleges, what they've done, the sports like football that generate excessive amounts of money, they're funneling that in and they're really moving it out into the other sports and building up. So like a school that's got a good football program traditionally might now have an awesome baseball team, gymnastics team.
I feel like it's a big since you brought up the Canes, they have pretty good sports programs all around now.
Yeah. So and that's what happens when the schools have bigger athletics on a level like that, like a Penn State, when they have a big athletics program and a huge football program. They bring in so much money, they can start to build up all the programs.
Bingo.
So that's dope.
So just to ask, because we're winding down for the evening, is overtime hockey one of the most intense, sports games to watch when you watch?
Overtime hockey is definitely intense. Yeah.
Overtime hockey, playoff hockey,
playoff overtime hockey.
It just in general, look at how many series right now. Like 2 of the series have already finished. Yes, the Canes have advanced, the Avalanche have advanced. The other series, you know, are super competitive, right?
Yeah.
Overtime games, it's been dope. It's been very fun to watch. People ask the question a lot. Playoff overtime hockey specifically, like that 5 minutes might be the most intensive in all of sport.
Oh, it feels like a half hour basically.
Yeah,
because like you gotta criticize every single thing. Like it's first team that scores wins.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
golden
we were
goal is
talking
so
about the Anaheim
intense.
goal. Like
Yeah.
that's in overtime. Like that was intense situation and the call and everything and the
You
outcome.
gotta analyze every single thing that led to a win or loss.
The only thing I find right now when it comes to hockey is when they call the offside like 5 minutes later after a goal happens. It's like, why are we having that much of a delay on that?
Right.
Like, really, I get you want to speed up the game, but you can't get the fans all excited 5 minutes later and go, okay, wait. And then you look at it, it's like a hairpin of a skate.
Yep.
It's
Dude.
like, how the hell did you notice that?
Really?
Like,
it's actually crazy. I've been so into the NBA's playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I try and jump into our one chat and I'll like look and just see if you've thrown any stuff in there about hockey.
Yeah.
But like I've definitely missed a lot of this NHL play. This is one of the Stanley Cup races. Like I feel like I've been the most out on in a while.
I think it's not been like publicly pushed right now. I think right now
It hasn't. No. It's the NBA
right now it's
playoffs
hot.
has been.
Right now it's NFL.
Yeah.
Baseball's getting hot. It's like playoff. It's like, okay, first round. Unless you get a huge rivalry that's been going on all season, that's been raking the dollars, they're not going to talk about it. That's what I said. Boston Montreal would rake in dollars. If that was a possibility, the league would be talking about it. They're waiting for the market games to happen. And that's what you were saying earlier, Vince. It was it's like, do we push Edmonton out just to put Anaheim in? So Anaheim's playing Utah, and then guess what? Then we got that kind of rivalry. It's like, are they trying to sales pitch the playoffs?
Well, because look, Anaheim, what you don't realize, Cove, necessarily, Anaheim is actually just a part of Los Angeles.
No,
so
I've
like,
always known that, that's why that's the LA Angels were the Anaheim.
Yes. So like, so that's a massive market. Like, obviously, they already have the LA Kings, but like, but people are going to tune in if the Ducks, like everyone in Los Angeles is going to watch if the Ducks are in the Stanley Cup.
Well, you not only brought back the Ducks, but you brought back the Ducks. Like, you brought back the old logo. Like, it's been a few years now that they brought it back, but now it's like you really are more identifying back to the '93 Ducks.
It makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense. And now
you got the Utah, which I'll say is like, I showed you guys in the chat there, like Utah Mammoths friggin' Zamboni. Like, that thing is insane. Like, what are we doing now? I expect that from Vegas to make their Zamboni looking like that, but not Utah.
Dude, I love it.
I
love it. You know what? Like, there's like a new attitude and energy about the NHL. It feels like, but it's just hard for them to compete at this point with like how dominant the NBA and like people are like, oh, the NBA is going down, but like it's all they talk about is the NBA right now. The playoffs. You don't really hear about the NHL playoffs like that.
No,
I mean, you guys were talking about rivalries. Like, obviously, there's the Philly rival. I mean, the PA rivalry and the Pens and the Flyers. But that series was 3-0, and now the Pens might reverse sweep. So it's just there hasn't been much hype around it until like now.
Yeah, because like, Crosby's crawling back. It's like he's not crying right now.
Dude, if I personally, I think they're about to lose, but if they imagine the story they have, if Sidney Crosby in year 20 or whatever this is, leads his team back to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Like, they're all for this.
And what does it do to Skinner's legacy that he got taken out of net again in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a craziness.
I mean, Skinner helped
I mean,
get helped
game
them
game
get that.
7 is in Philly, right? If it goes to game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
you would
I think a
think
lot
the
of people
Flyers
will
hold
be.
them off. You would think.
I think
Well, the
like I
third
would
just
love a
ended.
game 7. I would love a game 7 because it would be amazing for both
Yeah.
playoffs for both teams because it would be a huge rivalry game. They just
That
would
would be
draw it all
super
together.
highly advertised for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, I love that Philly, especially with controversies that we've talked about before with their former goaltender. It's like they've come from that to now being Sidney Crosby in the playoffs. They were dominating Sidney Crosby in the playoffs. So Philly has no choice but to win this, or this looks as the worst choke job ever. Get into the playoffs, take out Pittsburgh, and then just blah. Like no, Philly needs to win this.
Yeah.
That's 100%. It does look like Montreal did. I think, Montreal officially won, so they got a 3-2 lead. So Montreal's got a good lead right now. And oh Jesus, who else? Yeah, and nobody. Oh, we're going in overtime. We're literally in overtime for the Philly game.
Wow.
Yep. I'm looking at it right now.
So before we go, does anybody got a prediction on game winner? Since it's live at the moment.
I'm gonna just stick with you guys. Everybody send Flyers. Let's go for it.
No,
Let's go for it,
I'm talking about
I'm
like
going with
real
Pittsburgh.
sports.
Oh no, game.
Call the goal.
Pitt-
Call the goal. Let's see who can call the goal.
Michkov, maybe.
Um,
I'm going with the Penguin guys. Sorry, Penguins. Go.
The Penguins.
I'm gonna go with a defenseman to score. Maybe
Okay.
Drysdale scores.
Okay.
Oh, Drysdale's a good pick, like for sure. Since it's the playoffs, I'm gonna go with Rasmus. Ristolane's gonna win it. Like if it's Philly, it's gonna read Ristolane. But for some messed up reason, if Pittsburgh wins this is gonna be a Crosby tip in.
Crosby. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with a Crosby tip in, but I'll give
I'm
you
going
a
with the
Rasmus
Crosby game winner
Ristolaine
here.
win.
Crosby game winner.
Oh, dude.
They won a game 7.
Or
after
maybe
a
Crosby
win.
assist.
Bro, shit, you watch your stuff, buddy.
You know, if they win, if Pittsburgh wins, you got to bet on them to win Game 7. Like,
Yeah.
They have all
Yep,
the momentum.
definitely.
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
momentum. Like, there's
Yep.
no way about it. Right?
I mean, I get it would be in Philly, but still.
Yeah, but whatever. Like, the Flyers ain't about nothing. You know,
I would.
they're just another
man.
Philly team.
I would love to pull out the Ron Hextall jersey if Philly wins this.
That's an interesting one. So this weekend, just a heads up for those fans that are like into boxing as a sport. You got the David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez fights on Saturday. I'll have the weigh-ins and stuff posted on. I'm actually going to be at that stuff probably on like Thursday and Friday, so I'll post some stuff on the website and on my X and like YouTube. And also, Inoue Nakatani. There's a really big boxing stuff. Check out my X page; it's all on there. Nothing else to say but that. Cove, are you going to be doing a show tomorrow?
Oh yeah, always.
So
yeah,
same time.
Same
Cove
time.
will have the YouTube link posted. Same time or 6:30 or 5:30 or
No, same time.
same
9
time.
Eastern.
Okay. So 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Cove will have the link posted on his X for his YouTube tomorrow. Probably focused on baseball.
More baseball and more hockey as we get pretty regular reaction from this Flyers game, right?
For sure. That's a fact. And we didn't get to talk about it today, but we're going to have to talk about manager fire. You know what? What am I talking about? Let's just talk about Alex Cora for a second.
Scapegoat.
So he gets fired, right? Scapegoat. Not only is he a scapegoat, but then Philly immediately goes after him. And Philly fires their manager, but somehow Mendoza still has a job in Cleveland.
Because the Mets are a mess. They don't know what to do.
What's going on, bro? What? Like, listen, Boston's like that. I'm not surprised they did what they did and they did everything the way they did, kind of just cleaned house. Not that surprising. For Philly to go after him is not a terrible decision, but while they're still pursuing him, the interim coach is Donnie Baseball, and I think Donnie Baseball is a better voice for guys like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. Just throwing it out there. What do you guys?
They could have had Cora too. There was a report that they went after Cora, and he just stepped away from coaching. I mean,
well, so supposedly they went and approached him, and he kind of like he didn't say no. He just said not now, sort of thing.
He said he's stepping away from baseball for now. So going back to his family.
Like, but and again, this is my point. I feel like this could be a blessing in disguise. Like, I don't know. I think that they have the right voice.
I think when they hired Dombrowski, it was like mid-season, and they had a tremendous turnaround. So who knows?
See, I'm definitely indifferent with Cora because all of the cheating scandal with that surrounds him. I'm just like, no, I just have zero respect for anything he's done since then. Like, it's just there's no way you don't know about what's been going on, like, and whatnot. But
I'm telling you,
definitely was a scapegoat for sure.
I would say so because I Breslow probably just like he's like someone has to take the blow, so it had to be Cora. Like,
yeah, I mean he's the easiest scapegoat. It's like Cora's already been in the news how many times for cheating?
Yep.
Wasn't it back to back? Like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, back to back.
It was.
Like, come on, dude. Like, back to back World Series, back to back. I don't know what's going on in my clubhouse. No, you know what's going on in your goddamn fucking clubhouse. Fuck.
He's like, oh, I didn't build the right roster. He's like, he wants to blame it on the clubhouse, this and that.
Yeah.
Like, on,
and it's restorative justice, the MLB.
Yep.
Well, hopefully for Philly fans, that is going to be what happens is that Donnie Baseball is going to spark the turnaround. Because listen, let's just call it what it is. The whole mess in Philly is the front office's fault. Because
it is.
They didn't do anything to get better in the offseason.
Yeah. Honestly, and no rip to the Yankees and their organization, but Philly the last few years has been like really well built. It's just really fucking pissly more like managed.
Yep.
100%. They just really just don't know how to play with their players.
Well, again, like, how do you you keep seeing these guys like getting to the playoffs. They're doing decent, but why did they do nothing to make this team better in the offseason?
It's like they have Bryce and Kyle, but they don't have the supporting cast around that. Yeah. And to start the season, they didn't have Wheeler. Their pitching rotation wasn't great. It's like it's a fun.
Listen,
it's a mess.
I'm gonna read you an actual text message I got today, talking to my buddy who lives outside of Philadelphia. They need to cut Bohm and just stick to Sosa on third base. Like,
wow.
These are the kind of things that people are looking at their own team, and they're like, what are we doing here?
Their homegrown talent hasn't been producing enough. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, the only thing I would say about these guys is the fact that Schwarber was chasing the contract the last few years. That's a big distraction in any player's head. And then is it the Bryce Harper curse? Because once they got rid of Harper, Washington dominated, won the World Series. So it's like, is it Harper? Is it Schwarber? Like, are these two guys just their heads not there? Like, in that sense?
I wouldn't say. Would you say curse with Harper? I don't know. He's a big time player. So
Harper is a big time player, but it's been a curse everywhere he's gone. they've won after him. That's the thing. I just don't know what it is about him that
Right.
he just can't win. It's the Corey Perry curse. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't
He
be
can get you
shocked
there,
if
but he
Bryce
can't
is.
win.
I wouldn't be shocked if Bryce is traded at the deadline. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If
He
they
would
keep
be a
on,
cool
if things
team
don't turn
piece,
around
yeah.
with Donnie Baseball, Dombrowski's relationship with Harper isn't good. So they might just cut ties.
I would do the craziest trade if I was over them. I actually would. I give you Schwarber and Harper, but I'd want Mike Trout and somebody else. Like you've got to give me somebody with Trout, and I would take that trade any day.
I mean,
Well,
I
yeah,
would gamble on Trout.
Trout
would
wants to
gamble
play
on
in Philly,
Yeah,
but they just haven't made the move. So
yeah. You bring a guy who wants to be in that stadium to rock that stadium, and I mean, I love Mike for his confidence after all these injuries, but holy shit, it's like he wants to win, and so
Yeah.
you bring a guy in there that wants to win desperately.
he'll
Not saying
be
Bryce
he'll be
doesn't,
even more motivated. Exactly.
Yeah, it's more motivation, and yes, we all know Mike Trout has been a tremendous leader because everybody when they talk about Mike Trout, he is up here with respect, just like Shohei. It's just like we do respect Mike as a player. So I mean, he would give that leadership. Maybe there's something going on in their clubhouse they don't talk about, and just maybe it is contracts because it's we all know grown ass man and all about throwing around egos after a game or making a mistake, and then the paychecks start rolling out to who's making more. Like that's what happens. I mean, I love that.
where would you
Shohei is so humble about it.
realistically? Let's look at teams that are contenders right now, right? Who would you see going after Bryce Harper before the trade deadline?
I mean, who needs a first baseman?
I mean, he is a decent first baseman for anybody he goes to,
Right.
but it's the curse. It's the curse. Because if he does, until he goes to win, then his stock is gonna drop because no one's gonna take him on because he can't commit to a championship. And both his last two teams were championship teams. No, there's just no way. The rarest one I will say is Bryce Harper in Detroit. Like I got a weird feeling about that.
Detroit.
Will they
Here's
give
why.
up that
You
total?
said trade
Will they give
deadline,
up?
right?
Yeah.
Scooble for Harper.
Not a chance.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Whoa. Let's
No
relax.
way. Bro, people would burn down the stadium. What do you mean? Scooble is a national treasure.
But he's talked about going, so there's a possibility. Scooble gets traded to Philly. They fix the rotation issue by bringing Scooble in. You got Donnie Baseball going in there. You got rid of Harper, and you bring in Scooble to help you out. Like that's a move Philly would definitely need to make. If they can't get Trout right away, they need to get Scooble.
If Detroit, okay, with how good Detroit's team has been in the last 2 years,
Yeah,
and how it's improved year over year. If Detroit dealt their ace, it would tell me that they didn't feel or take this team that
Confident that
serious.
they could make a run. Yep, exactly.
Like there's no, you don't deal
everyone's a sub 500 team right now, but still, it's like
Scooble for Harper.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, you can keep Harper.
Nah. if they trade Scooble, it's for another pitching prospect plus a bunch of young prospects.
Like Harper's closer to GA than Scooble is away from being A.
The most insane trade I would say is Harper going to Atlanta.
I'll take Scooble for Castillo. I'll take him over Castillo.
Scooble for Castillo.
Right now.
That wouldn't be a terrible idea.
I mean, what do you do with Matt Olson though? You just have a school. You just have
DH.
What's his name? Bryce DH.
You throw him on
Because
DH.
Matt Olson's a
You
gold
throw
glove
Harper on
associate.
DH.
Yeah. Okay.
They lost Ozuna, right? They lost
Yeah.
Ozuna to the Angels.
Yeah, they
so
do
you
have
bring-
DH open. That's for sure.
Yeah, so you bring Harper in for the DH.
Yeah, because you can't take Olson off of DH.
No,
Like,
you
he's
can't.
exactly.
I mean, and look at how well Atlanta is. Like, I mean, you and me were talking about Showtime. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I told you Atlanta's solid, and it's like, what? Now you're seeing, you're like, oh wow, Atlanta's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you bring
I
Bryce
thought they were
Harper
going to
into
do that
Atlanta.
last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, Atlanta's definitely been the biggest shock in the NL so far, I would say.
Yeah.
Like
Or
they've
like
just been the
what?
most consistent team in the NL or even in the league.
I told you the rotations is decent.
Let's
It
say-
has questions, but
It
the
has
questions
questions,
have
yes.
been filled. Exactly.
Yeah.
What about this? Like, and I'm just throwing, this is just a random one, and this would be based just on what I'm seeing this season. What if the Rays continued in the wild card contention spot they're in and looked to go in towards the deadline, and the Rays made a move to add Harper to their lineup with Caminero?
Mm-hmm. I can't see Bryce Harper going down to Tampa though. I think he would block that real quick, no matter what was going on. I just don't see Harper going. He's gonna probably stay in the NL for sure if he gets moved. I think it's like Trout is the same way. Trout would probably only go to an AL team more than likely. I don't think he would go convert over. Because I was talking to my mom about this the other day about NL players going to AL and AL players going to NL. They see it drastic, like Bo Bichette, right? Like this is what happens to players when they convert over because AL is always really dominant in the bats and NL is all about pitching. So you're getting a different caliber league when you go crossing over from whatever. You saw Soto go like that. He was with the Yankees, then he had the slow start with the Mets because he had to develop a new game in the NL. It was so much different. And you see that when you play these teams in the World Series. It's like that's why, you know, LA Dodgers are very dominant in the pitching because that's what they're known for, and they also have the hitting too, obviously. But in the AL, it's morely a very powerful team, like more home runs and whatever, or shit like that. You get more dominant players.
I just
What
want
is
to
the
point
last
out,
team?
from and maybe I sound crazy saying this, but from the perspective of somebody who has watched baseball for a lot of years, the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays are a sub 500 team right now is wild to me.
Yeah.
Like you were in game 7. You just
Yeah.
like what just happened?
Oh yeah. It's but
No.
that was the ride. That was the ride. That's why I told you guys last year. I was like, Toronto, even though I'm Canadian, Toronto just had that lucky 2015 run, and then they flaked the hell off because it was just a dumb luck. And it is Toronto's forte because 92-93 was not supposed to happen either. It was just a lucky run by Toronto. They just find gaps where they do really well. And Toronto just happened to find it, but now look what happened to half their roster basically after opening day. It fell apart.
Terrible.
And I don't see a secondary run with this team like last year. We're not going to have another miracle season.
It's not a World Series caliber team for sure, or even a pennant caliber team.
So
the only reason they're not in hold on. Excuse me. And sorry for dumping on your team here too, Showtime. But the only reason I say this is because
What's up?
they
What
also
is
have
it?
14 wins. But if the Red Sox didn't become a dumpster fire, if they were the projections had the Red Sox to be this year, then those teams, then the Blue Jays would be in last place.
Yeah,
With the Orioles.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's just crazy.
You know what's crazy? That the White Sox and the Colorado Rockies have more wins than the Mets right now.
I love it.
The Mets are the Mets are like a special kind of awful right now. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been swept by the Rockies. It's also in that that run. It's just amazing. But the one fun fact I saw was when a team, no team who's ever lost 10 in a row has ever made the playoffs since 1951. So the Mets are historically just out now.
Yo,
History beats.
the Mets lost 14-2 while we were on this podcast.
To the
National.
to the freaking Nets.
That's
bro.
And they got
We
swept
still
over
have
the
4
weekend
more
by the
wins than them.
Rockies.
To a sub 500 team. They gave up 14 runs to a team that's not even a 500 team.
But at least I'll give it to them. They
You
were
want to go through like the cost of their lineup?
Oh, this only just popped in my head now. I wonder how bad the Rockies last year run differential was.
I think it was one of the worst ever, wasn't it?
I know, but I forgot to look it up. I was like,
okay, I don't know what exactly it was, but
it was like a
I'm
minus
pretty sure it was
500
four.
at some point.
The Mets have a pretty bad run differential right now, I feel like.
But it was a minus 500. It was the most insane
Something
run
crazy.
differential I've ever seen. I'm gonna have to look up the stats later on and be like, this was the run differential. It's like, oh my fuck, seriously? Like, wow.
So the Mets are already at a minus 34.
Jesus Christ.
Like, that's pretty bad. I mean, like, let's just assume that the season continued at the same pace that it is now. They would have at least, maybe not 500, but they would have at least 160, 170, like minus 170, 100. Like, it'd be an outlandish number. Now, they've got Lindor, Bichette, Soto. I mean, that's just the start, like, right? Then they got pitching going on. Like, I mean, that's a
Their
very
pitching's a
impressive
mess.
roster to have 10 wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad, but like I'm a Yankees fan, so whatever. You know, it happens. All right. I just wanted to take a minute to touch on these couple of things before we hopped off for the week because we can't not show baseball some love. And we've had some real dumpster fires and teams already cleaning house. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But let's keep our eyes on Mendoza, his situation, how Donnie Baseball and these guys fare, and Bryce Harper, and if he remains with the Phillies through the trade deadline.
Oh,
How do you feel about the
gotta
Yanks
admit,
so far?
I was able to get it just the last second. It was a minus 424 with over 1,021 runs given up against.
Okay. So real quick, that's ridiculous, Cove. By the way, let me just throw that out. As you were getting ready to throw that out, Showtime asked the question, "How do I feel about the Yankees?"
Yeah.
It's been it's been Yankees baseball, I guess, is the easiest way to say it, right? We just won, several games, but we just lost several games, right? So we had a hot streak to start the season, and then we went cold and we lost like 9 or 10 in a row.
Yeah.
And then we just went back on a heater. I would just like to see us get to a place of consistency. I don't want to see hot and cold streaks of 9 and 10 games at a clip.
And it's been hot and cold with the hitting, right? Because the pitching's been really good so far.
Pitching,
consistent.
like Flitler's been way above average. Fried's been excellent. I told you guys we just called up Elmer Rodriguez. He started for Team Puerto Rico, for those not familiar with the name. During the World Baseball Classic, and he played well. He pitched well. The hitting has been on and off. And it's Yankees baseball. What we've grown to know as Yankees baseball. When it's on, like 4 guys hit home runs, and when it's off, not even 2 guys can hit a single. So it's
you have to be happy about the pitching, right?
I am like right. So the problem that we have at the moment, or that we're about to have, if things go the way they can, right, is that we're expecting Rodriguez to show up and be good. Right. And actually, how did he play tonight? Did we win?
I think he had a bunch of walks and he gave up like 2 runs, I think, or something like that.
Okay, not amazing, but not terrible. Could have definitely done better. We lost, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had Nate Eovaldi pitching. Eovaldi, okay,
Evaldi pitched
fair.
7 shutout. Yeah.
That's a tough spot for him as a rookie, jumping in and having to pitch against Eovaldi in his first games. Somebody who you know is gonna pitch 6 or 7 clean innings. But if he shows up, right, if this kid develops into what he can be, and then we get Rodon and we get Cole back, you know,
Who's the odd man out? Exactly.
That's like 6 or 7 starting pitchers.
Do you go to a 6-man? Maybe. Who knows?
So that's not a bad place to be. You know, we can obviously shorten up to, if we could have a 6-man during the regular season
And then shorten up.
to shorten up to a 4-man for the playoffs and have what, you know, I'd feel pretty good.
Man.
I like how the Mariners are doing right now. They're looking pretty good right now. Like they're 16 back in the AL West.
The Mariners are picking it up for sure.
They're getting better. They started kind of, you know, the first couple of weeks. I feel like I was breaking Caleb's chops a lot. You know, they're starting to play better baseball. Cal Riley remembered that he's
hitting
Major League
dingers.
Baseball catcher.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, I expect them to be competitive down the stretch, right? We have heart attacks about some of this stuff because like we're crazy. Caleb's team loses a game, Cove, and Caleb loses his mind. We're like, yo, it's like game 25. It's okay. You know, it happens. They'll be good down the stretch. I wouldn't be surprised to see them make the playoffs again. I don't know if they're going to win the AL West.
I think they do. I've just seen a whole lot of mediocrity from the rest.
That's fair.
Yeah, the Rangers, they have good pitching. They just can't hit consistently. The Mariners, you know, they've been dealing with the inconsistency too, but they have more of the star power, and their pitching is always good.
Feels like the Angels can hit and they can't pitch.
the Angels are the Angels. They're just mediocre. Like that's it.
I don't like the Athletics. The Athletics are fun, but
they're fun. That's it, really. Yeah.
The best thing about this is the Astros have 11 wins.
The Astros are a dookie mess.
Like nobody's even just. That's how bad the Phillies. That's how bad the Phillies and the Mets have been. Is that the Astros are an abomination and nobody even knew.
There would be more talk about their manager being fired if they didn't have so many injuries. Like honestly, their pitching is a mess. Fair. Their offense is good, but their pitching can't keep runs off the boards for shit.
Which is a surprise. I feel like they've had, in recent years at least, they've had good pitching.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't help when some of your best pitchers are down. So,
Cove, just real quick, like last thing. Oh no, it didn't. Are you serious? This is so. Dude, I just assumed that hockey was over by now.
Yeah,
the Flyers and the Penguins are still going at it.
Yeah, they're still going. Yeah. This could be a 2-3 overtime finale.
Okay. Well,
98 all over again. I think it was triple overtime. I think it was like 2:20 in the morning when it got done. It was insane. It started at 8 o'clock.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was like one of the longest playoff games ever. It involved Philly. It was insane. Like I do remember it was the Lindros era.
Okay. Well, listen. That's all we
Vinny?
got this evening, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Vinny, if you didn't
Yeah.
notice, I got new ink done today.
Oh, nice.
I'm not scratched up. That's actually the ink. Like it's all
Oh,
red
Let me
ink. or
hold
whatever.
on. Let's screen here. We got some Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen. I'm Batman, so I mean, I guess I can accept it.
You're Batman. My legal license is my name is Bruce Wayne. So what are you talking about?
Imagine that. All right. Well, listen, guys, that's all we got for you guys this week on Vinny's Corner. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys back here next week. Take care.